Buckle up, everybody. We're diving headfirst into a Bundesliga battle that could really shake things up.
Oh, yeah. This one's gonna be good.
Werder Bremen taking on Stuttgart.
And let me tell you, this ain't just another mid-table snooze fest.
No way. This rivalry goes way back.
One of the most played matchups in Bundesliga history.
And right now, these teams are practically glued together in the standings.
Just 1 point separating them.
And get this, we're heading into a 4-week stretch where both teams have a real shot at piling up some points.
Yeah, it could be make or break time.
This match. This could be the springboard that launches one of these teams up the table.
Or the beginning of a slippery slope down.
Ooh, that's a good way to put it.
High stakes.
Now, Bremen, they're at home for this one, but get this.
They're actually the underdogs.
Underdogs on their own turf. What's up with that?
Well, it's not just about where they're playing, right? It's how they've been playing.
Yeah, their record at home as the underdog this season is, well, it's not pretty.
Not pretty at all. 0 wins. And lately, they've been kind of, inconsistent.
Up and down, up and down.
Yeah, 1 win, a draw, then a couple losses.
They did win their last home game.
True, against Holstein Kiel. Newly promoted, mind you.
Interesting. Does that mean they've turned a corner? What do you think?
Well, here's something to chew on. Bremen. They've actually managed to pull out a win after each of their first 3 losses this season.
So bouncing back is kind of their thing.
It seems to be. So maybe, just maybe, that loss to Frankfurt last weekend isn't the end of the world.
Okay, so they've got that going for them.
Yeah.
But still, playing at home as the underdog, that's got to mess with their heads a bit, right?
Could definitely play a factor.
Okay, let's flip the script and talk Stuttgart.
Now, these guys have been defying expectations.
Seriously, they've been snatching points from some heavy hitters.
Leverkusen, Dortmund.
And remember that 5-1 thrashing they gave Dortmund?
Oh, yeah, that was a statement win.
Absolutely.
But there's a but.
Always a but.
Their success, it's mostly been a homegrown thing.
Home field advantage.
Exactly. On the road. Different story. They haven't won an away game in their last 3 tries.
So we've got this kind of, contradiction.
I like where you're going with this.
Stuttgart looks dominant, but only in their own backyard.
Right.
So how does that play into their history against Bremen? Because you said this rivalry goes way back, right?
Okay, deep roots.
Give us the historical lowdown.
All right, so historically speaking, Stuttgart hasn't lost a single Bundesliga match to any team currently sitting below them in the standings.
Which means?
Bremen's on that list.
Wow, that's a pretty impressive streak.
It is, but here's the thing.
Or is always a thing.
I think this dominance might be more about mentality than anything else. Stuttgart, they consistently perform against teams they're expected to beat.
So it's a psychological edge.
Could be. But Bremen, even with their struggles, they're at home and they're hungry for a win.
Desperate times, desperate measures.
And that kind of pressure, you can change the whole game.
The mental game within the game.
Layers, man, layers. It's going to be fascinating to see how all that plays out on the pitch.
Absolutely.
Now, we got to top players.
Oh, yeah. Who are we watching?
For Bremen, I'm keeping a close eye on Marvin Duksch.
Good choice. Leading scorer, A&D assist maker for Bremen.
Exactly. Plus, he put 2 past Stuttgart in their last meeting.
A brace?
But were those goals from open play or set pieces?
You're asking the right questions. Because if we know how he scored, we can get a better idea of whether it's something he can replicate or if it was just a lucky day.
Exactly. So, homework assignment for everyone listening. Go back and watch those goals.
Get those replays going.
Okay, now Stuttgart. Who should we be watching on their side?
Well, there's one player with a particularly juicy narrative.
Ooh, I love a good story.
Nick Woltmade. Used to play for Bremen, in fact.
Oh, so there's a little revenge factor here.
You could say that. Plus, he's already scored more goals for Stuttgart this season than he did in his entire time at Bremen.
Wow. Talk about motivation.
Yeah.
I bet he's going to be coming in hot.
Oh, yeah. You know he's going to want to prove a point.
All right, before we wrap this up, there's one stat I got to mention.
Hit me with it.
Bremen's defense. They haven't kept a clean sheet in their last 9 Bundesliga games.
9. It's not a Bundesliga record, but...
Don't spoil it. I was going to ask if it was a record or not.
Sorry.
But seriously, that's a long time to go without shutting down the opposition.
It is. And against a Stuttgart team that can light up the scoreboard, that's got to be a concern.
For sure. So, big question. Are they going to try to tighten things up defensively? Maybe play a little more cautiously?
Maybe. Or maybe they'll stick to their guns and just try to outscore Stuttgart.
Classic high-risk, high-reward
Like
strategy.
Bundesliga, baby. Anything can happen.
All right, let's recap. We've got two teams, neck and neck in the standings, both with some big question marks.
Big questions.
Bremen, struggling at home, leaky defense, but they can bounce back.
They can bounce back.
Stuttgart, dominant at home, but can they bring that same energy on the road?
Who knows?
Plus, you've got the Dutch factor for Bremen.
And the Voltmade revenge tour for Stuttgart.
This match, it's a clash of styles, a clash of narratives. I honestly can't call it.
Too close to call.
So what do you think? Can Bremen harness that home crowd energy and overcome their recent woes? Or will Stuttgart keep rolling?
Only one way to find out. Tune in. This one's going to be a must-watch.
Absolutely. And for everyone listening, here's something to ponder. Do you think a team's style of play matters more when they're on the road? Or is it all about mentality? Let us know what you think. Until next time.